Week 3. Geography of Ancient Greece. Any study of Greek history has to begin with a study of Greek geography, and any study of Greek geography has to begin with plate tectonics. The Eastern Mediterranean is a collision area, where the mass of the African plate is pushing northward into the resistant Eurasian landmass, with the smaller and lighter Aegean plate and Anatolian plates caught between the two. This has had several effects. Firstly, the Aegean plate is being slowly pushed under the African plate, drowning the Aegean islands at the rate of a few millimeters per year. Secondly, it has created an area of tectonic instability known as the Hellenic Arc, which runs from the western Peloponnese, south of Crete, and then into Rhodes and western Anatolia. Thirdly, and most importantly from our viewpoint, it has pushed the landscape of the Greek peninsula into a series of mountain chains known as alpine folds, and these run roughly from northwest to southeast across most of the country. 80% of Greece is mountain, and basically it was useless to the ancient Greeks for anything other than providing spectacular scenery. However, western Greece is mostly limestone, which is not the most durable of stones, and by historical times it had worn down enough to provide some arable land, here in Attica and Boeotia, and further north here in Thessaly. But even in these places, the soil is not rich enough to support major grain crops. So from the very earliest times, the Greeks have been a mercantile people. And because the only practical way of getting around Greece is by sea, the Greeks have become traders and seafarers. Greece has a highly convoluted coastline. It's twice the length of the coastline of neighboring Italy, and nowhere in southern Greece is more than 60 miles from the sea. Therefore, a journey that would take a 5th century Greek days by sea could take weeks over land. As a result of this, the Greeks spread out. Anyone looking for 5th century Greece on the map is going to be disappointed. Greece at this point was not a country. It was a culture. There were Greeks on the coast of the Euxine, which we call the Black Sea today, who were as Greek as the Greeks of Syracuse in Sicily, or those of Massalissa near the Rhone. And all these Greeks counted themselves more Greek than the people living in Aetolia or Macedonia at that time. Basically, we can divide Greece in this extended sense into 3 areas. There was Magna Graecia, which consisted of cities such as Naples, Syracuse, and Tarentum, which were mainly Dorian foundations. For example, Tarentum claimed to have been founded by the Spartans. And then there was Ionia. Those eastern cities, mainly on the Aegean islands or in the Anatolian mainland, which looked to Athens for leadership, or, when this region was dominated by the Athenian Empire, cities which received Athenian leadership, whether they liked it or not. When we look at the politics of the Greek mainland proper, we can see that at the start of the 5th century the main centres of power were as follows. Attica, which owed its strength to being a large federation of smaller towns known as demes, which were focused on Athens, which was itself very wealthy because of a rich silver lode discovered at Larium, here. Then there was Sparta, here, with an invincible army designed to keep down the people of Messania, whom they had conquered over a century before, and kept subjugated, though at the cost of militarizing their society to a degree almost unimaginable today. Between Athens and Sparta were Argos, here, and Boeotia, here, with its centre at Thebes, and Corinth, wealthy because it sat across the isthmus, which is all that keeps the Peloponnese from being an island. Aetolia, Epirus, and Acarnania were all important states later, but at the present time have little impact on Greek history, while Thessaly, here, is rich in horses and relatively well off for cattle, but subject to floods, drought, and intercity warfare, which also stops it from being a major player. Some other areas to watch are the Chalcidice, here, where Athens is making an expansionist push, and the island of Lesbos, and particularly the city of Miletus, where the effort of resisting Persia's military and cultural presence is producing some remarkable results.